Daudi Ocheng, Secretary General of Kabaka Yekka, 𝗖𝗵𝗶𝗀, and Opposition Chief Whip. He tabled a motion before Parliament on the 4th of February 1966. The gold allegation motion involving the then Prime Minister, Dr. Milton Obote, and his Deputy Commander of Uganda Army, Iddi Amin, who were complicated in the looting and misappropriation of gold, ivory, cash by the Congolese rebels. Ocheng is the son of Rwot Lacito Oketch of 𝗤𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗄. He was born in 1925 and attended King's College, Budo, Makerere College, and the University of Wales. When he returned to Uganda, he was elected to Buganda Lukiiko in 1962 and the Parliament of Uganda in 1964, representing Mityana on behalf of Kabaka Yekka, 𝗖𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀. In 1965, Ocheng raised in Parliament what he considered to be suspicious payment made to Colonel Iddi Amin in February of that year. At that time, he was the Secretary General of 𝗖𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀, Kabaka Yekka, and Opposition Chief Whip. He submitted a motion asking the government to suspend Iddi Amin pending the conclusion of police investigation into his bank account. He accused the then Prime Minister, Milton Obote, and Deputy Commander of the Army of being complicit in the looting and misappropriation of gold, ivory, cash by the Congolese rebels. You see, the looting of wealth from Congo didn't start yesterday. It started a long back when we got independence, when we had conflicts with the Congo. They went there and they got locked up in a circle involved in the gold scandal. And that trend seems to be moving on because whenever our soldiers set foot in Congo, we end up looting gold, timbers, stealing whatever we can put our hand on. As I said before, the people who designed the General Service Unit, the State Research Bureau, they know what had been going on and what is going on till today. Welcome to Wangoo. Don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss your daily source of information on Uganda. Let me be clear and let's get started. As I said before, Wangoo will do everything to honor our fallen heroes. We started the journey a few years ago, and we are going to continue. And remember, Wangoo believes that the truth always leads back to where it all started. The Secretary General of Kabaka Yekka party also implicated the Minister of Defense then, 𝗬𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀, and the Minister of Defense, 𝗦𝗵𝗶𝗄𝗏, the Minister of Planning. Those two men were also complicated in the gold scandal, 𝗬𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀 and 𝗦𝗵𝗶𝗄𝗏. The Parliament, including members of Obote's party, the UPC, who controlled the Parliament at that time, 74 of the 91 seats, voted almost unanimously to back up its allegation that came to be known as a gold scandal in a newly independent Uganda. When he tabled the motion in Parliament, Obote was in the north for a state visit. He was on a tour of northern Uganda. Therefore, he was unable to influence the cabinet decision in backing up Daudi Ocheng's motion. When Obote returned to Kampala, he responded by putting Amin on leave for 2 weeks. and establish a commission of inquiry. And then he declared a state of emergency. You see, Obote was a man who was stuck up in internal relationship with those he loved. The Uganda Youth Wing members, people who were close to him, and people who listened to him. Because if he was slim enough, he would have taken the warning of the governor when he was handing over power to Uganda, warning him to take measures against Idi Amin for killing in Turkana. He didn't take it seriously. Instead, he promoted Amin because his Minister of Defense at that time, Felix Onama, had a big support in West Nile. A big support in West Nile. And Obote closed his eyes. Instead, he promoted Amin, causing problems in Uganda. Failure to listen has cost us life. Failure to be honest with one another has cost us life. Let me tell you one thing. If you go deep into the history of Uganda, even before independence, then you'll start to realize that we are woke up in hatred that should have not been there. That we are hooked up in creating messages of lie that should have not been there. I hear a lot of people saying that when we got independent, Acholi were the majority in Uganda armed forces. That is a lie. Let me correct it. That is a lie. We had been lying to the people of Uganda that we went to war because Acholi has dominated the army. But that is not true. If you go back and read what the British wrote, they were comfortable with recruiting Nubians into the armed forces. And when we got independence, there were more Nubians in the army than the Acholis. And then I began to wonder, who created that story that Acholi was dominated? Acholi has dominated the army. It does not make sense. Let's put the fact right. As I said before, there are people who like Radio Katwe because Radio Katwe can send a message very fast and conflicting messages. The Nubians were the majority in Uganda army. And that is the truth. And that is the truth. If you look at what happened, how can you put somebody who is already involved in scandal on a 2 weeks leave when you know that that man is very dangerous? When the governor warned you before they handed over independence to you, that Amin is a very dangerous person and he might cause you problem. But he didn't listen. He didn't listen. And when he declared the state of emergency on the 22nd of February, he suspended the 1962 Constitution. He suspended President Edward Mutesa II and Vice President William 𝗪𝗵𝗵𝗫 at that moment. 5 government ministers were arrested. People like Grace Bingira, S. Lumu, K. Kiria, Mbalule Ngobi, George Magezi. In April 1966, they published a new interim constitution. A new interim constitution was established. People playing a game of a strong man. Say, I'm stronger than you. Therefore, I can do whatever I want to do. I'm weaker than you, so that you cannot reach my level. That's the game Dr. Apollo Milton Obote was playing. And then he came out with Uganda second constitution. And we have rumors that soon thereafter, the man who tabled the motion of gold scandal was diagnosed with stomach cancer and died on the 1st of June, 1966. We all know that that was the start of a long journey of assassination, killing, murder of top, actually military officers. And we always say, we will never give up until we know the truth about what happened to the Legion, what happened to those Legion. If you think for one moment that when somebody is dead, then he is dead. No. We are keeping the history of our death. We all know that Daudi Ocheng spent most of his youth life in Buganda. Some people claim that it was a well-planned project, a colonial project. His primary school started in Budo in 1952. Rwot Lacito Oketch, the father of Daudi Ocheng, had a meeting in Mengo with Katikio 𝗬𝗲𝗶𝗶𝗁, where it was agreed that Ocheng, born in 1925, should come to Buganda and join his age mate, Prince Mutesa, born in 1924. They found out that Kilara and Abe were much older than the prince. Therefore, it was Daudi that was suitable, and he was allowed to grow up in Buganda Kingdom. And that moment, Daudi Ocheng was 7 years old. And when he joined Prince Mutesa, they spent their first day in school together. His father, Lacito Oketch, was a strong man who trusted the British and worked for them as a native official and shared it with Daudi Ocheng. Ocheng later married two wives, Susan Ocheng and Acholi nurse from Bobo clan. The second wife was a Muganda woman. The Legion also had homes, both in 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗁𝗂𝗏 and in Buganda. When Daudi Ocheng was killed, it was the start of mysterious death in Acholi land. A mysterious death on our military officers. And Wangoo will honor all those heroes who were gone. And Wangoo believe that the truth always circles back to where it started. We are going to continue, and the history will be kept alive so that our children, our grandchildren, and the people of Acholi will look back and see exactly who lost and why did we allow it to happen. Thank you for listening, and remember, I will be back.